Cool. What's up, guys? My name is Alexi Michael, owner of Learn to Cut, one of the largest online platforms with over 780 members. And today we have Josue Perez in the building, baby. And obviously, I know Josue's journey, and we're going to ask him a few questions, but I actually want to mention it before we start. So, who was Josue before Learn to Cut? Josue was someone that was charging $30 a haircut, doing 40 to 50 haircuts a week, and was burnt out, felt like he was at a 6 out of 10 when it came to his career. He wanted to improve his social media presence and time management for content creation. He wanted to be able to build more confidence and knowledge around precision-based cutting and also improve his body positioning. And his dream was to own a shop one day. And what ended up happening is after Learn to Cut, guys, he went from raising $30 to $40 a haircut and received a ton of positive feedback from raising his price point. Reflected numbers on price raised 3 calls later, and it was previously making $1,300 a week, and now is making $1,600 a week, getting closer to that 10K a month, an additional $1,200 a week just by increasing his price point. And he closed off 2024 by doing incredible numbers in revenue, improved his skill set, and he feels like he's a lot more confident, obviously, now that he's gone through the program. The most craziest one, in my opinion, is that he finished off 2024 with reaching over $73,000 in total service sales for the year, which is almost double what he had accomplished the previous year. And a big chunk of those sales were because of Learn to Cut, right? So because he started doing Learn to Cut, which is obviously amazing, dude. I would love to hear your take on this. How does that feel now that I've obviously mentioned that? Why don't you kind of tell me a little bit about yourself and who you are, and what's been the journey before who was Josue and what was the journey like before Learn to Cut?
Yeah, man. It feels amazing, man. It feels amazing to be able to continue to grow in this industry, continue to grow every day. I'm a 23-year-old barber out of Hickory, North Carolina. Before Learn to Cut, man, like you mentioned, I was just pretty stagnant, man. Getting to the point where I was slowly starting to lose passion a little bit, just because it was, kind of continuous cycle, day in, day out. Making it by just barely. Kind of having that old school mindset of get in, cut some hair, get out. But definitely after joining Learn to Cut, man, it definitely opened up my mind. Uh, Being able to expand my horizons, learn a lot more stuff within the industry, starting from the cutting to branding and things of that nature. And it feels great, man. Ready to tackle this year, ready to keep going, keep growing, and see what this year has in store for me.
Amazing, man. And by the way, it's obviously amazing that you're in this position right now, and obviously it feels like the foundation has kind of been set for 2025. Like now you pretty much have the foundation ready. Now it's a matter of taking this off. Why don't you tell me what would you say was the biggest pain point you had before joining Learn to Cut? Like if you could mention one single thing that was like the biggest bottleneck or the biggest pain point, what would you say that was?
I would say definitely the precision cutting, man. Being able to fully understand how to break down a haircut, how to look at someone's face, structure a haircut. Just going through barber school, you just learn the basics. You
Yep,
don't really dive too deep into what you really need to know to fully
absolutely.
succeed in this industry. So I think that was my biggest pain, man. Just kind of going through, having people show me a picture and just trying my best to replicate what I was looking at. Um, and after joining, man, now I have that way better understanding of like this is what I'm actually doing and what I'm trying to accomplish as far as
Absolutely.
just hair cutting.
Absolutely. And so given the fact that, your skill set, obviously, your biggest bottleneck was that you didn't know precision based cutting. What was the reason why you chose us? Like why us over all the other programs, all the other education that's out there? Why did you decide, okay, these guys are gonna, I could trust these guys to help me get to where I need to get to?
Yeah, man. So I just felt like y'all were well rounded all around. Just everything y'all had to offer, not just from hair cutting, but to mindset, the business side of things. I really felt like it just honed into everything that I was looking for. no shade towards anyone else
Yeah, of
or
course.
any other course or anything, but I felt like a lot of the rest of it was kinda a little too gimmicky, if you
Yeah,
will, just kinda like, "Hey, come join just because." But I
yeah.
feel like I really did a really good job with really breaking everything down and, really, attracting me as far as into the course, man, yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny you say that because I think like for us, dude, it's like what's very important is like obviously everyone wants to learn branding, right? Like everyone wants,
Mhm.
especially again, no shade to other programs, but the intention why people want to do branding is because they want to be in a position where their brand goes because they know if the brand grows, they could charge more money, right? But
Yeah.
what we believe in is like, well, you got to charge more ethically, right? And
Mhm.
why that's important is because your skill set needs to develop. You need to get better at cutting so that can match your price point. And why that needs to be done ethically is because it's also a business move. Like you could actually make you could quantify that. Why? Is because if you're doing this ethically, you're going to have return on your clients. You're going to be able to have lifetime value on those clients. Because if, let's say, I give you all the techniques and your branding does really well, but your cutting ability is not that good, maybe the client sits in your chair once, but they don't come back. So there's
Yeah.
actually a massive benefit in being able to cut really good and standing out from the competition and doing both, not just doing one thing, like as in getting your skill set to be better and your branding to be better. So then you can not only have clients that come through the front, but you could also keep them in the back, right?
Yeah.
So you're not
Yeah.
always having to chase to get new clients. So why don't you tell me this? Like, what would you say is the biggest lever that we pulled for you that you saw the biggest return on your investment? What was the one single thing that you felt that we did that helped you tremendously, right? Like we worked on so many things, but what was the one thing you're like, wow, this was all worth it for me?
Um I would say kind of going back to the same thing, man. Just being able to really break down and understand what you really need to do on a professional level, from the consultation to assessing the client, being able to give a professional recommendation and feedback as far as to what they're looking for, not just like, all right, cool, I'll just throw this fade on you real
Yeah.
quick and get your money and get you out the door. I think that's really what caught my attention for sure.
Cool. And what can you say now that you've gone through the program? How do you feel? Obviously, from the Josue before Learn to Cut and the Josue now, what would you say is the biggest difference from that guy to where you're at currently?
Dude, just the mindset, man. It really has opened up my mind to like realizing that, hey, there's a lot more to it than just, again, a simple haircut and get your money, get the client's money and get him out the chair. It's a whole world, within the industry that's really out there, that if you don't ever really go search for it, you're not gonna, really find it and take advantage of all those things.
Yeah, I love that you said that. And I think part of what we do, dude, is like as much as it is a program to teach you how to cut hair and help you with your business and help you with your mindset, it's very much a transformation, right? Like you need to, like, I'm sure you've realized like who you are today is not the same person before Learn to Cut. Like if you were to put two of these guys next to each other, like they would have different conversations. They're different individuals. Like this version of you is leveled up so much. And the reason why is because that's kind of been the saying is, it's like you need to self-develop so that amplifies the amount of money you make. So who you are at a
Mhm.
certain level is going to determine where you're at financially as well. So you have
Yeah.
to develop yourself to be able to make the income you're making currently, right? um so yeah, I think part of what we do is transformational rather than just like we're just going to teach you how to cut hair. And that's very important, but also it's very hard for us to say that and teach that from the front end on the marketing side, because people will be like, I don't need a transformation. But when they're in, they're like, oh shit, I didn't know that I actually had to develop myself as well. It's kind
Oh,
of like
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
byproduct. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 for
Yeah.
sure.
Cool, bro. Um, so let me ask you this. Now, what would you describe your experience like? Obviously, a big part is we have modules and videos, but you also had a coach. Like, what was your
Mhm.
experience working with the coach? What was your experience overall with the program itself?
So, big shout out to John, man. Super, super helpful, man. It's been a great experience, man, just from, like you said, from the modules and things of that nature, but the one-on-one coaching and, being able to have that mentorship to really guide you. Because, you can watch videos on YouTube and everything nowadays, but if you're not really, having someone there to kind of guide you and kind of lead you and show you the different little tips and tricks, I think that's helped tremendously, man, for sure.
Yeah. And what would you say now? Like, obviously, John helping you and mentoring you and you developing yourself, what would you say on an emotional level? What has this impacted you in any positive way outside of the business side of things?
Yeah, man. Like I said, it's been just really a complete transformation, man. Just uh, really realizing that it all kind of leads behind each other. Like you don't, besides the self development in the business and cutting hair, like if you don't have all those other pieces in line and in order, then it's really hard to,
Yeah.
to really get that ball rolling, man. So I think emotionally, it has really me a lot as far as the sense of community as well, everyone else in the program, and just having that and, being able to piggyback and take ideas
And get
from
that
someone
support.
else. Yeah, man, that it's been great.
Incredible. And obviously, like you mentioned it to me before, you're like, well, I'm moving out of this place now. So you're actually getting a better place now. So you're moving out of the house that you're currently in and moving into a bigger space, which obviously is a positive impact as well because
Yeah.
of the money that you've been able to make, which is incredible
Mhm.
to see, man. Um, and what would you say, like, what for people that's obviously tuning in, you're in South Carolina, right? What could we expect from Josue Perez now in 2025?
2025, man. Some pretty big plans coming, man. I'm hoping to get the ball really rolling. I'm looking into potentially owning my own shop. So that's one of the big goals I have for this year. And I think what the people could really expect is just, the grind, man. The grind is never going to stop. I'm always going to be here. Progression, bro. Try our hardest to keep progressing in all fields. But yeah, that's the main thing, man. We're looking to potentially own a shop this year and start, building more of a brand, not just on a personal level, but trying to build something a little bigger than just myself.
Absolutely. And I think the greatest thing with this dude is like we've left an impact on you. And I think now you're realizing it's like, let me make an impact on others and having the shop and building other people up and using some of this information and knowledge to do the same with others.
Hmm.
I think our goal is like our mission is like we want to touch 1 million people, and that's gonna be done through this, right? It's like us
Yeah.
helping others and then them spreading the word and helping other people, right? So
Yeah.
I love that you said that, dude, and super proud of you. I feel like it's insane to see, 73K in total sales in a whole year. And I think that's just the start. I can't wait to see. We got to hit that 200K this year, dude.
Oh yeah.
We got to double this
We're
baby
claiming
down.
it. We're claiming it for sure, man.
100%, bro. And yeah, man, super proud of you. And it's amazing to see all your successes. And I cannot wait. I know for a fact you're gonna have a shop this year. And hopefully we'll be there mentoring you through that journey as well. So Josue, thank you so much for your time, bro. And we'll keep in touch. And yeah, brother, keep killing it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
My man. We'll keep in touch. Okay, brother. Thanks again for this
All
interview.
right, brother. Yes,
Take
sir.
care,
Take it
bro.
easy, man.
Yes, sir.